Welcome to another episode of The Real. I'm your host, BG, with my co-host, the lovely Miss Maddie Cruz. How you doing today, girl?
We're doing good. Ready for this interview.
Hey, Mac in the building. How you doing today, buddy?
Man, I'm great. What up, Mayor Cruz? What up, BG? What's happening? How y'all doing, man? I appreciate y'all having.
Chilling,
We're
chilling.
glad to have you.
Glad to have you on. Yeah, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you at. All your social media platforms and what you're gonna be up to over the next little bit here.
Well, you can go to my website, BennieMac205.com, and that'll take you to all the social media links and all that kind of stuff. And shit, man, hey, if I can catch y'all at one of these shows, it'll be great. Tomorrow, I'm live at the Start On. Friday, I'm in Monroeville, Alabama with Terry and Melissa. On the 19th, I'm speaking up at a school. On the 21st, I'm in West Palm Beach. On the 22nd, I'm in Orlando. June 3rd, I'm in Little Rock. So yeah, man, I got a lot of show days, man. Hey, just trying to keep this
Working
thing.
hard. Working hard.
Yep.
Hustling.
Yeah, hey, that's the only way I know how to do it, all right? Or breaking houses, one or the two. I don't want to do that.
So
Exactly.
were you born in Alabama?
Yeah, born and raised, Birmingham, Alabama. East side? Yeah, so I'm from there.
How was that growing up?
I mean, it was cool. You know how a lot of people talk about tough lives and shit, but I believe you only make your life as tough as you make. So, of course, I was familiar with, the drug era. I was born in '79, so I remember when crackheads came and took over the world, and I was around when the pill game took over the world. I just think that, as long as you keep yourself away from what everybody else doing and be yourself, shit, you ain't got to really worry about that shit unless you want to smoke dope.
All right.
So
I have
now,
a question for you. What inspired you to become a comedian?
um, I just always liked laughter. It was always amazing to me to see people get on stage in front of 3,000-4,000 people and entertain all of them at the same time. That was always so fascinating to me. And I started off watching a lot of the cussing comics when I was real young with my cousin. He would let us watch shit like naked pictures and shit that had cussing and all that. And I remember watching Eddie Murphy Delirious and Eddie Murphy Raw. And that shit was just so amazing to me to see how he did that. And I always wanted to do it. And then I kind of felt like I was a little funny too. So
So
hell,
you can say that he's one of your inspiration to become a comedian?
yeah, Eddie Murphy, Red Fox, them might have been the two favorites. Now I got a lot of them I like, but them might have been the two favorites. Eddie Murphy and Red Fox.
You like Pryor?
Yeah, I like Pryor, but he's not my favorite though. You know what I'm saying? But like when you say them two, they the ones I can watch over and over and not really be bothered by watching it again. Cause I'm one of them type of people. When I watch that shit once, that's it. But Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, not Richard Pryor, Red Fox, I can watch that shit over and over.
Who can watch Raw and Delirious over again? Doesn't matter how old you get, you can always watch that. And it's just as fun as the first time.
Oh yeah, even like the movie Life. I can watch that shit over and over and over. And that's rare that I watch something twice.
Nice.
Yes.
So you also are a barber. You have your own barber shop too, right?
Oh yeah, got my fresh cut there.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah, now I just said, now I ain't do that down now. See, he fresh, but if I'd have cut it, he'd have been, you would have whispered at him when he came on.
Do you tell jokes when you're cutting people's hair?
Well, I think a lot of people got the misconception about jokes. Like,
okay.
Like a lot of time, your jokes come throughout a conversation. Now, because of course people get it, because you can be very entertaining in a conversation, how you tell a story, how you deliver it. So I wouldn't per se call them jokes.
Yeah.
But they do be jokes though.
Yeah. Oh.
With your comedy, do you think it's more like, the best comedians always say, they're like you said, they're not telling jokes, they're just telling life. You know what I'm saying? Is that how you base your, comedy around?
Yeah, because really a lot of times it's really just perspective. It's really just perspective, because I can tell you about, let's just say, an incident that me and Mira had if I knew it. And you can be laughing based on how I presented it to you.
Exactly.
But somebody else can tell you that story and that shit can be dramatic. So really, the comedic nature of it is just all how you present it. It's just like watching news stories, things I may hear that happen in the community and abroad, and then I can listen to it and I can see the funny in that shit.
So
So
it just floats to you. It just floats.
yeah, it just flows. Yeah, it's almost like water running down a hill. You ain't got to tell it. It
It's
just
better
it just
when you
don't
make
flow.
it flow because when you force it, it's not really even funny. It doesn't,
It,
it doesn't. Yeah,
exactly. That's why when people say some shit like, "Hey, tell me a joke," I'm like, "Now, come on now."
I'm not a
I don't,
clown.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you work at McDonald's, they don't ask you got no sandwiches in your back. So it's like,
Exactly.
so they ask you to tell a joke. It's almost like, uh, you know, it's like it. I'm not saying it can't be done, but a lot of time, even when you go to a comedy show, if you hear a person and it just sounds so natural, that's the most entertaining.
Yeah,
If it sound like they reading off a piece of paper, you like, oh, okay.
it's still rehearsal.
Yeah, it's too rehearsed. So a lot of time, I know, like for me, I anything around me inspire me. Everything from death all the way to a kid falling. All that shit
Hmm.
be entertaining. It's just how you present it.
Which one did
Mm.
you start first, barbering or comedy, like professionally?
Well, be honest with you, it's gonna sound crazy. I almost started them around the same time
Hmm.
because me couldn't have what got me to couldn't have. One of my cousins named Robert O. He's 3 years older than me. So he was in high school first. So of course we was around fifth, sixth grade. And that's when, as a kid, you didn't have ass want to comb your hair. You might bathe once a week, and that's because your mama made you all this shit. So he used to always come home and be like, hey man, y'all better go in that motherfucking bathe and get a haircut, man, because them girls up there in high school. So me and his brother, same age, he's like, shit, man. So of course we started taking baths on a regular. Then started cutting my own haircut. That's when your mom would get your haircut once a quarter. Then you,
Mm-hmm.
you might get a cut for Christmas, maybe Easter. You might get your birthday when school started. The rest of that shit, nah. Your ass run around here trying to look like a map. So,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
so me, I started cutting my own hair. And the more and more I started cutting it, the better I started getting. Then I started cutting my little brother hair shit. Every 2 days I was trying some on his hair. And it's like, then came the comedy. Ninth grade at a talent show. That was the first time I attempted. 1995. So,
Wow.
but it was really kind of at the same time because I always liked comedy. It's just, but when you don't know shit about it, you don't even know where to start at.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And that was the
So
time you decided to just go ahead and go full in on this comedy thing and this barber thing at the same time.
Well, no, that's an interesting story. When I tried the talent show, I never forget it. It was 1995 at a talent show at Woodlawn High School. That's when
Mm-hmm.
everybody had to sing in groups and they was rapping and singing and shit and dance groups. So me, I'm like, shit, I want to do comedy. so he
okay.
put me, so he put me last.
Yeah.
And when he put me last, watching everybody went up. I got more scared and more scared and more scared because I was like, oh shit, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just knew that I was, but I had no idea what to do, what to start now. So I remember when it became my turn. I remember clapping. I remember all that, and I remember the music coming on. That song by Puff Daddy. That can't nobody take my pride. Can't
Mm-hmm.
nobody hold me. I'm talking about I came out there, I'm moving. When I grabbed the microphone, it said, ooh. And I swear, man, I believe my heart ran out the front door. Like,
Wow.
it wasn't nothing else in me then. I ain't gonna even lie. So with the mics not working, it was a gift. Some people say it's a gift and a curse. Nah, that shit was a gift and a gift
Mm-hmm.
because I that shit knocked the fight out of me when that shit. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, nah. So after that, I didn't know where to go. As far as doing comedy. So of course I stayed cutting out. Then in 2003, I got into promotions and marketing. So I
Mm-hmm.
started off with hair and fashion shows. So I threw one 2003, 4, 5, and 6. And then in 2005, I started throwing comedy shows. I had two at the Bow, two at the City Center. 2005, I started with my first comedy show. I had comedian Sir Walt, comedian JJ from the Sip, comedian Queen Aisha, and a guy, first comedian I started managing, a guy named Big E. So I started promoting and pushing. Then I ended up with 5 comedians I was managing. Always producing shows and marketing and all that good stuff like that. Then 2009, I had an R&B artist I started managing. Had him right out of deal. Guy named Brian Taj, you can look him up. Then in 2013 is when I got back on the stage for comedy because I felt like I learned enough to actually be able to move forward successfully without having, somebody drag you along and shit. So when I figured that out, 2013, I started hosting my own shows. 2014, my very first show was in Memphis, Tennessee, with a guy named Oscar P. And from there, shit, it was full speed ahead. I did a tour of 30 shows in 20 weeks.
Ooh.
So so that was like when I first jumped out there in 2014, like full speed kind of comedy. And then from there, shit, it's been wide open from there.
Wow.
Yeah, and still a barber too.
That's
Which one
cool.
do you like more?
Really, I like both of them. They honestly, they got both love. That's like two girlfriends. I love them both. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like I like one more than the other because believe it or not, the comedy is still by the barber. You know what I'm saying? Because as an independent comic, of course I get paid, but a lot of times you may not get up at a hotel room and some eat. So that means me cutting hair will fuel the comedy to be able to move. So I love them both, and then I get a lot of content from the barbershop.
Nice.
Yeah,
cool.
so
That's cool. So how was your first experience, like with all that shouting from the people and the support from the people and everybody enjoying your show? What kind of adrenaline you had? What was your first experience like that? How do you felt?
Well, I ain't gonna lie, I'm always extremely nervous before a show.
Even now?
Even now. But
Wow.
not the nervous as in scared, nervous as in I want to make sure I do a great job.
It's like a scary feeling you get.
Yeah, because I want to do a great job. Because it's like, regardless of what you think is funny, you got to be able to present it to the people. So I'm always nervous. Now I don't really have many problems. Well, honestly, I have no problem with going out entertaining shit 1 on 1,000. But I have had a situation where I bombed twice. And they got to be the worst feeling in the history of feelings. To bomb.
What do you mean? Like you just couldn't come out with it, like it wasn't coming out of your mouth, bomb, or you were coming out with it, they just wasn't feeling it.
Well, no, like I said, it's all about how you present it. And what happened? I was in Memphis, Tennessee, and I was drinking before the show.
Oh,
and when you drink, you really fuck up your thought process in comedy because you got to remember it's like you putting together a whole movie. Like if you headline, I'm doing 45 minutes to an hour, so I put on the goddamn movie and I'm entertaining. So if you've been drinking, you ain't remember shit. You know what I'm saying? And when I got on stage, I never forget. I remember I stood up for a second. I said, well, God damn it, I forgot. So they started laughing. And I was like, no, I'm for real. And I was like, oh, shit. I just couldn't remember that. So technically, I didn't bomb. I just didn't really perform. But to me, that's a bombing because I was like, it'll never happen again. Like right now, I don't drink or anything before a show.
Nice.
Do you roast on people when you're over there doing the stand-up shows? Do you roast on people?
If provoked.
Oh, no.
if provoked. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I feel like the people didn't come to be a show. So if they didn't come to be a show, my job is to entertain them, not to entertain on them. Because see, that shit can stack up a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fight, man. You crack on somebody in there with their old lady or some shit. Hey, that's why you waiting on you.
Don't make it back to the car.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so a lot of times if I'm provoked, I ain't gonna let you take over the show. But I really don't care to crack on people on the crowd. Even though there's a lot of material out in that goddamn crowd.
Right.
You know, they paid 20, 25, $30 to come see you. You don't start off with them. Now, if they want to talking shit, you may throw out some shit that boom, even they can laugh at. Cause like I said, I'm so skilled with it, I can say a joke that's fucked up, but you laugh at it too, like, God damn, he got me. So,
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
And then is it different when you're hosting like a whole show as opposed to like, doing the set? Like, is it different for you in terms of how you bring the funny?
I think hosting is the easiest part of comedy, in my opinion. The reason being is because you really don't have that much pressure on you for real. And the reason why I say that is because you can come out, you can say, hey, how y'all doing? Shout out to the front row. They got the kitchen, got the chicken wings, $4. We got the French fries. They don't pause somebody paused in the wrong spot. Y'all ready for your first comedian? So they don't really have to do it. Or if they start off with a joke and fuck it up, they can come back and just hey, y'all ready for your next comedian? Or some shit like that. And then they can go backstage and rethink it and come back out and execute it the next time. So that's kind of easy. It's almost like that's a cheat sheet to me.
Yeah.
The toughest part is being a feature or a headline. Because even as an opener, you doing anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. So 5 to 7 minutes, you can speak to the ass 5, 6 times and be shit 3.5 out the way. Try to say a joke, even if it don't go good. Hey man, this is my first time. Thank y'all for coming out. And then they like, oh, and you can get away with that shit. But a feature, you talking about anywhere from 22 to 25 minutes. So you got to have some goddamn stories. You got to be able to hold that crowd. Headliner, you talking about 45 minutes and up. You got to be able to hold.
What's the longest show you have to do?
Most of the time when they book you as a headliner, typically in your head, 40, 45 minutes. The longest show I ever did might have been maybe about an hour 5.
Like, do you control that? Like they go, you give me 45, but if you're on there, do you like feel it and you're like, I'm just gonna keep going with it even though I'm over the time, or how does that work?
Yeah, because the jokes you write now, I don't know about any other comics, but for myself, they kind of time. Like when you go back and you watch your own content, it's time. And what I mean by that is that, like, I got a joke called the hookup joke, where it talk about, the consequence of paying regular price or getting a hookup on it, getting it at a discounted price. So I know that joke got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts to it, and each part is about 3 to 4 minutes. So if I say 3.5 times 6, you're looking at a 20-minute joke. So I know when I do that joke, 20 minutes are already gone. I know when I come in and do some crowd work and talk about what's going on in that particular city, or somebody heckling and handle them, I ain't gonna let that go over 5 minutes. So now we're at 25. So then I do some other jokes. I'm saying, okay, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. And then in your head, it's like, okay, I know I've been up here about 45, 50 minutes. If the crowd's still really, really into you, shit, I may hit your ass with 20, 30 more.
Ooh.
Yeah, because honestly, I write material all the time. It just, most of the time, you don't get an opportunity to use it. Because once you get comfortable with certain jokes, it's almost like that's your go-to. Yeah,
that's what most great comedians. Even if you watch Delirious in Raw, it's almost the same show. He just changed it up for Raw. You know what I'm saying? So he had some of the same jokes in there, but he brought some new stuff when he came in with Raw. So some people like Delirious over Raw. I know I'm an 81 baby, and I like Raw a little better. Maybe because it's more, recent for me.
Well, but then I'm gonna tell you this too. When you first write a joke, like I say, now this is just speaking for me. I write the hook first or the punchline first, then I come back and I build around it. So sometimes, like when I came up with the joke about the hookup, it talk about getting a hookup for a plane ticket. But then I added hookup for concert tickets. Then I said, what else can we hook up? I said, hook up for some headphones. All right, what else? Hook up for a GPS. Hook up for a hotel room. So now I'm like, okay, most of the time I'm gonna do 1, 2 punch. But sometimes I don't really feel it. I may say 1, 2, 3, 4. Punch, 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 punch. And make that one joke 20, 22 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
because it's just that entertainment. So yeah, so sometimes you grow. Basically, what I'm saying is you grow with the joke. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you seen me last year, you might say, "Oh shit, I remember this one," but then you know, "Oh shit, he had some new shit."
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we're in an ever changing world, so I'm always you can find a
So
hook.
you try not to repeat your jokes.
Huh?
You try not to repeat your jokes.
Well, it depends. Like if I'm like next week, I'm in West Palm Beach and I'm in Orlando. I can do the exact same thing because it's a whole
A
different
different crowd.
yeah,
Yeah.
different set of people.
How do
Mm-hmm.
you come up with the titles for the for your shows?
Well, my show is just my comedic mind. You know, like I think about, shit, and I think about sometimes features of people. Like there's a lot of women with big dukes and liberty heads. So I may do a show called Big Duke Liberty Head Edition. You know, and
Oh,
then when people know that, even though you're not talking about a particular person, everybody knows somebody with a big
Yeah.
yeah.
and a liberty head. You know what I'm saying? Or more forehead than face. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
guys forehead, you know,
Mhm.
Just
big
on
and
five
they
heads.
yeah, make the face look little. So, those titles, I just think of shit and I go with it. I feel like when it comes to it's for you.
So you make up the titles. Nobody else makes them for you.
I'm the man. I'm the
Oh, you're the boss.
man. Sorry, low.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Dolo in
That's
there.
cool.
And then
Yeah.
how is that, mix it in, like, what was like probably your best show that you like negotiated and actually performed?
Right now, I would say the start on.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say that, even though the shows I get 100% on, of course, that's much better.
Mm-hmm.
But to have a spot in your hometown that's been existing since '83 and you can go in that bitch and move like you want to, that's
Mm-hmm.
rare. You don't typically see that because most comedy clubs, they entertain the names that you see on TV all the time. Mike
Mm-hmm.
Epps, Cat Williams, they want big names because their whole goal is to put asses in seats. So when I
Mm-hmm.
negotiated that deal, and it's a great deal, might I add, it was
Like
like shit,
this is like weekly there
no,
at
I do
Start On.
I
That's
do
why I see you at the
once a
first
month.
one at Start On.
Yeah, I do once a month.
Once a month at Start
Yeah,
On.
yeah, I just do once a month. 'Cause like I said, I move around a lot
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah. That's
You
what's
also
up.
have your own radio station, right?
No, I used to work on a morning show right here in Birmingham. But of
Mm-hmm.
course,
Oh,
all good things come to an end sometimes. So that ended in January.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
wow.
January. But hey, it's all good. If I really wanted another radio job, I could. But
How
honestly,
was that? How was
oh,
that experience?
it was beautiful because I'm a content creator too. I created 90% of the segments that people was listening to every morning. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people didn't know that. Like they hired me as a comic, but they didn't realize they hired a comic, a writer, and a businessman.
Yeah.
So I saw a need in theater. So
And what
Heck,
do you like better, comedy, being behind the microphone, or you like it better your shop? What if you had a choice to prefer one? Which one you prefer the most? Comedy, your shop, or being a radio host?
right now, I would choose comedy. At 42 years old, right now, I would choose comedy.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
And the reason being because I've been cutting hair 28 years, 24 professional.
Mm.
So that's retirement age. Most folks retire at 20 years.
Right.
How
So
old were you when you did your first comedy? Like, how old are you right now? Because you look super young.
yeah, I'm 42.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So
yeah,
you
I'm
started like
42.
what, in your 20s?
No, I started cutting hair when I was 14.
Oh,
First,
wow.
first time I tried comedy, I was 15.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
wow. Jeez,
Think
that's
right.
cool.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
good, man. That's good.
yeah. So I've been around a long time. So I would take the comedy because you get an opportunity to do a lot of traveling, which means that if I choose the comedy, all the rest of the shit gonna come with it. Because the
Mm-hmm.
bigger you get, radio stations and all that gonna want you to ride with them too, especially knowing that you're a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't get so exhausted to you, like being traveling too much.
No, no,
You
because
like it?
I love it because you see different shit. Now I think it starts getting boring when you go
For
into
a minute, I'm pretty sure you will get bored.
well no, if you go into the same city, it get bored. You know,
Mm.
You know, that's just like right now, whatever kind of car you got it because you want it. But if every year you swapped out a new, different car, you would still love to drive.
Yeah.
But if you swapped it out for the same car, but just a different color, he'd be like, oh, shit. I don't feel like driving. I need to drive. But it's like me going to a different city all the time. That's exciting because you got to remember some of that shit I ain't seen either. So,
Yeah, that's true.
hey, I'm like
You get to explore.
yeah.
You like stay
That's
one
cool.
day there for the 1 day for the show, and then you do an extra day too, just to go check out the city, check out
Enjoy
the
your
area.
style party. Get fucked up.
Well, now believe it or not, after shows, I don't really mingle like I used to, unless the promoter come to me and say, "Hey, man, look, we got a couple spots we want you to come with us." I would, but a lot of times, shit, I ain't trying to make the money and then go back to the club and give it all back to the club.
I get back to
That's what happened. You know, you're feeling good, everybody speaking and shit. You're gonna spend $500 drinking and eating food.
Mm.
So, you know, a lot of times I just make sure I got a super fire ass hotel room and I can go in there and
Oh wow,
smoke one with the earth and be all right.
right. Heck
that's
yeah,
good.
man. What was the best city you've been in that you actually enjoyed being at?
Best
And got
city,
the most love to you, like shit, like the people that show you the most love, that you would say.
it's a tie between Birmingham and Dallas. So I guess we exclude Birmingham because I'm from here. But I would
Yeah,
say,
that don't count because you probably got a lot of people you went to school with to come watch you and stuff like that, right?
well,
Like people you grew up with.
these folks come through, but by me throwing shows every month, you know, of course you ain't gonna get the same people every month.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a job. That's a job, you know, because you got to try to convince
Exactly.
people that these people on the flyer are actually entertaining enough for them to spend $20-$25.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Have
so
Yeah.
you ever been booed before?
boo, nah, never been booed. Nah,
Not one time.
not one time.
Yes.
Wow, you
I,
that good. You that good.
I mean, they quit making niggas like me. They quit making niggas like me in '79. You goddamn right on that good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have
Mm.
confidence. Yes.
Did you have
Have you
an
ever?
opinion on like Ti? You know, trying to be a comedian now. How did you feel about
Mhm.
that when he got?
Honestly, honestly, I really support his efforts to actually being a person that's doing
Mm-hmm.
what he want to do. Because what people got to realize, he's already a star and he already got stage presence.
Mm-hmm.
So, which means that he just got to get the time to develop into the style that's most comfortable for him. See, the only thing, the reason why people talking shit is because they see it in real time. Like me, you didn't see me doing open mics. You didn't see
Mm-hmm.
me doing shows where they was paying $10 and you got 10 minutes. Ti, that's the part we didn't see. We seen him do bigger shows, which means you got more people to judge. But I believe a year from now, he gonna be a motherfucker because he's already an entertainer. He just
Yeah,
got
he's in movies, everything already. Yeah, he's super wealthy.
to find where he's comfortable at in comedy. Because like to me, comedy is like finding your lane. Like me, I know I'm a country motherfucker. I know this.
Hmm.
So I use that to my advantage. I'm not getting out of that way. That's who I am. So
Hmm.
I present my comedy where it matches my personality. And I
Hmm.
think T.I. matches personality with comedy, he gonna be the shit. All right, that's my prediction.
What's that, balling? Because that's all he doing is balling. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
the
I mean,
comedian.
yeah, I said T.I. I think it's gonna be great, man.
Nice.
I think it's gonna be
Who's
great.
who was like the biggest entertainer that you've opened for?
Uh, 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 trying to see, man. Believe it or not, I haven't really opened up for nobody big because I'm a producer too. A lot of time I book the venue and I book myself, or I will book them and I'll just host it. So technically, that would be opening up. Because I know what I got in my mind is, you know, when people say we open up for, a lot of people seek out like the Mike Epps or whomever come to their city and try to get on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really believe in doing that. Yeah, I mean, even though I think it's a great thing, it's a great promotional opportunity, but I feel like this: if you grinding hard enough, that shit gonna come to you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 'cause sometimes I think you can put yourself in a position too early. So me, I believe in putting in the work, and when they come to the city, like, hey man, what the fuck, Bennie Mac at? They gonna
Mm-hmm.
come to you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my take. That's why I produce a monthly comedy show that average 200-300 people on a Wednesday once a month. That's why I still throw shows at the barbershop. That's why I still move around the country because I believe waiting on somebody to put you on their level, shit,
You've been waiting your whole life.
you gotta be crazy motherfucker. You gotta remember, yeah, they trying to stay on. They trying to stay on. The only
Mm-hmm.
way y'all really benefit one another if you got something to offer as well as they do. And that's how I
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So if it come about, hey, I'm gonna relish the opportunity. But if not, god damn it, I don't plan on missing no meals. So
Mm-hmm.
just gonna grind it out.
Who would
Right.
you like to collaborate?
Who I would like to collaborate with? Right now in the comedy game, man, it's a lot of independent comedians around the country. That
Underground or famous ones?
what they underground.
Mm-hmm.
They're underground, and like I said just a few minutes ago, it's not that I wouldn't mind working with the famous ones. But me, I'm a real appreciative type person. The people
Mm-hmm.
who look at me and give me what I asked for in these little 40, 50 cities I done hit, and I know they good, I would want to work with them. And
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
I would want
Yeah.
to work,
Yeah. Yeah.
because if you think about it, just on a perspective thing, if I'm doing my thing like this with all my folks and they paying me and I'm paying them, and we
Mm-hmm.
just boom, we watching each other grow. Then as soon as I get an opportunity, I say, well, I'm gonna go on with such and such. I'm
Mhm.
mostly like, God
Is that
damn.
how that works? Like you say it was like a Kevin Hart or something like, and you went and did a show from that how it worked? Like all of a sudden he likes you, and then all of a sudden he asked you to join his team type thing. Is that how it works in comedy, or how?
Yeah, because people they deal with you based off the work that they see. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody wants an extra leg that ain't working.
Mm-hmm.
If I got 5 legs, I want all of them holes to be strong. If
Mm-hmm.
not, what's the sense? Somebody's gonna be a burden. But if back to what Miss Marcy was saying, what Miss Mary, I'm finna call you Marcy, Miss Mary. Um, I would work with a major comedian if it's a nice monetary uh, thing involved, if there's a little money involved and a lot of exposure.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being because I can take that money and take that exposure and go back with my underground comedians and put them there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
somebody
Right.
got to be able to, what I'm saying, have the guy to do it. But I would always come back to the roots, man, and make sure
Oh yeah.
we
Bring
know
up your own team. You know what I'm saying? Help
right.
out a bunch of people that help everybody else out. That's how I am. That's how I do with this network. Try to find. It's cool if I get someone that has a lot of subscribers on it because I got some guys with a lot of subscribers on the network. But I rather look for the ones that want to grow together. Because I'm new in this game too. So it's like I want us to grow together as like one big family and like really build something special. I think it's always easier when you do it that way as opposed to always cherry picking from the top.
Yeah, I agree because like people got to realize if you got somebody with 20 million followers, right? They get phone calls about trying to put me on all day long. Somebody, hey man, put me on. I just want to open up. Hey man, can you sponsor this? Hey man, can you do this? So for me, I don't want to be that phone. I don't want you to look at the phone and be like, oh shit, that's been ass. God damn. I don't want to be that person. I want
Mm-hmm.
to be the person when I call you, that shit about money. I
Mm-hmm.
ain't calling to talk to you, man. I'm calling that shit about some money.
Right.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like whoever I'm around, I want to be an asset to them as well as I want them to be an asset to me. And if not, shit ain't no sense us even dealing with each other.
Right.
And that's a reality, especially
Even
on
at working at the Stardom, do you ever find yourself going down watching shows of other comedians, or you don't even mess with it at all? You don't watch nobody else. Any of the newer comedians, like the bigger sets. So say if like Gary Owens down there, because I know Stardom always have a lot of good people there. I go down there quite often. Like, do you ever go watch just to go watch? See what they do, or you kind of just like you do your own thing. You don't really
oh
engage.
no, Oh no, man, I love comedy. I watch different people comedy all the time because sometimes I just like to see the setup and the build up or watch their growth. So yeah, I love comedy.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. And nice.
So, so what's
Good.
one thing that you can say is in your bucket list that you haven't done yet?
Uh,
Professional, personal.
went overseas and did some comedy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, travel the whole U.S. and then go overseas. Because once it gets to a point where they requesting you overseas, I know I'm big as a motherfucker then. So
Nice.
I think that'll be definitely on the bucket list because one thing about it, regardless of what somebody think about your comedy, if they request you to come overseas, that ain't no $100 nothing show. That's in the thousands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
that's where the
accommodation.
money is at.
Yeah, so that means if somebody call you there, that means you definitely made it. Because you can go around the country based off some connections. But when you go across overseas, that's some real line work. You've been
What about
spotted.
movies?
Movies, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, man, definitely. I think that'll come once I satisfy my hunger for that stage. I think a lot of that's gonna come because
Mm-hmm.
when you move around the country enough, you start meeting a lot of other independent people with films. Be like, oh man, I got the perfect role for you, all that. So I think it's all gonna connect like train. So I think as I move around, I think a lot of that shit just gonna kind of attach to you almost shit voluntarily. It's just gonna attach to you.
Yeah. You ever want to do like a big stadium? Like, what's the biggest venue you've done?
The biggest thing I did, man, I was in what was that? We was in Meridian, Mississippi at the name of that theater is at the shit. I can't think of the name of the theater. I want to say the Temple Theater in
Mm-hmm.
Meridian, Mississippi. That might have been the biggest I did.
Nice. You ever did outdoor events?
No, I haven't done too many outdoor events yet.
Nice.
But yeah, I've done a lot of clubs, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of comedy clubs. Well, a few comedy clubs, but a lot of what I guess people would call the chitlin circuit markets, where you got spots that hold 200, 250,
Mm-hmm.
300, something like that, which is a nice crowd.
You like the grind of it all? You know what I'm saying? Going boom, 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 boom. Do you have any kids?
Yeah, I got two children, man. Yeah, I got
Are you following your footsteps?
my oldest daughter, she's definitely a hustler. She's
Mm-hmm.
definitely the one that's 10 years old,
Mm-hmm.
it's to be determined, but she definitely gonna be about her business. I can see it in her.
Right.
Mm, okay.
Nice. Do you mostly stay around the southern states, or do you go like to? I know you said Texas, but have you been to the West Coast, like Cali, or
Man,
like all
yeah,
in New York? So,
I went to Cali. I was out in Oakland,
Oakland,
and as far north I went with comedy was Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah,
Nice.
so and then and a few spots in between too.
Mm-hmm. Nice,
Cool.
man. That's awesome, man. I always wanted to be a comedian for a little bit. I just never did it. It's just like you said with your little stage fright. Like I've been in movies. Like I was in We Were Soldiers, and when I lived in California, I was in this Lindsay Lohan movie. I've done my couple of things when I was younger. But I remember like doing this Blockbuster commercial. Like you said, like for me, it was always like the camera being on me. You know, like it's funny now I'm podcasting, but the camera being on me, and you see yourself on the other screen, and I don't know why, but it used to really bug me. I go to show, I'd be like in the room, I got the whole crowd rocking, what I'm saying? Everybody like good, good. But then when I get backstage in a dark room, one on one with the camera, I freeze up, man. I freezed up bad.
Yeah,
So then I just got over it. I was like, man, I can't do this no more. you know?
yeah. Well, it's based on confidence, man. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
have that confidence, that no, leave it alone, cause that's what it's about. It's almost like saying a dog, man. If a
Mm-hmm.
dog know you scared, that big gonna bark and jerk at your ass as long as you let it. But if he see you look confident, it's almost like he like, okay, this real nigga here. I ain't fucking with him. So
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing in comedy. When you out on that stage and you telling your story and that shit sound made up or you sound scared, man, folks go to texting, talking, and have
Mm,
full conversations while you on stage. That's worse than getting booed.
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm. Like, do you just find your people, Because I know you said you manage some people. Do you just find your people in other different comedy, venues, or do you have things where sometimes you do little things where like you go check out an open mic or something and just be there?
Well, most of the time when I'm moving around, a lot of those comics I meet in they selected cities, and then I link up with them from there. Yeah, man, I see them around, and I see they how they moving there, and I'm like, okay, shit, hey, we need to link up.
Heck yeah. Is
Yeah,
it
then
hard? Did someone like tell I'm good by myself, or usually when you find them, you like those are your type of people they connect real fast and they want to do it.
Yeah, in most cases, you tell somebody, they just say, if I'm out in Oklahoma, and of course I'm from Birmingham, you go out there and you rip a stage and you say you want to bring them back to your city. If they tell you no, they just don't fuck with comedy, because the goal is to get out your city at all costs. You want to be able to move out your city, because when people see you on different flyers and shit around the country, especially consistently, they're like, damn, who was this motherfucker? And that inspires people to book you too.
Have you ever thought about moving somewhere else, or just staying home?
No, I mean Birmingham. That of course that's my home. But sometimes when you move, it's not because you're trying to leave the city. It's because you're trying to expand your brand in another market that's a little bit more in touch with what you're trying to do. Because regardless of what people think, whatever city you from in the United States, don't nobody like your ass that much at home until you go out and get famous and come back.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying you won't get no support. It just ain't gonna be at the level you probably gonna think you get.
But whatever, he's down at the local comedy club doing his thing. Whatever. I'll catch him when he's there next month or something like that. And then you go out there and he start hitting some nice shows. Then you come back. Oh, what up, my guy? Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's how I go, because I'd be lying to say I don't get no support here in Birmingham.
Oh, yeah.
But you also got to be a stand-up guy or a stand-up woman to continue that support. But you can't expect people that like friends, constituents, families, to come out to your show every month. If they do, you just won. But if they come out a couple times a year, I can't be mad at them. And people got their own lives and shit they got to do. My job is just to make sure as many people as possible know about being a motherfucking Mac, so that I can be able to have a consistent crowd every month. So I put that more on me than the actual people, because it's all about the grind.
Ray Red said, "Is Benny Mac a Cowboys fan?" No.
Well, no, I'm not actually a Cowboys fan. I'm actually a 49ers fan and a Lakers fan. But I got a big old ass forehead, so I got about 70 hats. So whatever team you might see me in a Jets outfit tomorrow, I got that. So yeah, I just wear whatever shop, and I like the color.
Nice.
So when it comes to your acting career, if you want to pursue it, would you just want to stick it to comedy, or will you do drama, suspense, scary, or some other subjects than just comedy?
I ain't gonna lie, I like to do it all. I like to probably do some romantic comedies. Yeah, because I know a lot of people. I love comedies, but I like to do a romantic comedy.
Oh, so you're romantic. You like to be romantic.
Hey, I keep your ass with my eye closed. They don't get no more romantic than that.
Right.
I'm telling you.
Are you married?
Yes, I'm married.
How long?
A long time. I've been married, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, carried to 5. Been married about 10, 11 years. Yeah, but 10 or 11 years, one of them. I think 11.
Wow.
Yeah, 10 or 11 years.
So how are you like a husband, like a family man?
Shit, they don't make them like me no more. I'm one of the best.
Okay. You like to flatter your woman?
Oh, no, I don't like doing all that guilt banging.
Oh, my God. I thought you were romantic.
Well, I mean, hey, I pay bills now. You know how sexy that is to come in there and turn some lights on?
I thought you were romantic.
I am romantic. See, I can make it real sexy for you. I turn it out of 65.
Right, make it take it off.
You never had no man turn this shit below 72.
Oh, okay. You just have 2 kids, you said, right?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Oh my gosh.
Ain't nobody else came forward.
Okay. That's good. A lot of people like are enjoying you. They throwing some comments out there too, so you making them laugh.
Okay. Well, I told you we can have a comedic conversation without even trying. You know, it just happened.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
like, so what how do you do it in terms of like, do you have levels in terms of your comedians when you go on your shows? Like, do you just try to get everybody that you have? Like, today you guys are going with me, tomorrow you guys going with me, or is it just like, do they have a rotation already? I'm trying to look at the more the business side of this all. Like,
Well,
how does that work out?
I mean, a lot of times when you find a set of comedians that you work with really well, you
Mm-hmm.
normally gonna ride with those comedians because regardless of what position they playing, whether it's host, opener, feature, or headliner, you already kind of know what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, certain shows you be like, well, nah, give me this guy. Certain shows you be like, nah, you wouldn't be good for that. That motherfucker cuss too much. They want a clean show. So
Mm.
you normally get a network, whether it's 3, 5. You may have 150 in your network, but it's 3 to 5 of them that you're gonna work with more consistent because of the availability.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Mm-hmm.
have your own team, or you work with random people, or you work with your personal team?
Yeah, I mean, I work with one comedian named Eric Biggie Johnson and a comedian named Comedian Felicia and a comedian named Jason Shorter. And then there's a lot more, but it just kind of go down the line as the availability. Because those are the ones I'll probably say, boom, I'm going to call them like my go-to first. Then if they say, well, I can't do it, all right, then we'll start going a little further down the list.
Do you think it's harder to do those? Like, do you go to places like, hey, that's cool, we want you, but we don't want to hear no cussing? Do you still take those two gigs, or you like, okay, well, you pass those to the people? You know what I'm saying? How do you like? Do you care about the cussing, and the non-cussing ratio at different venues?
Well, I mean, with me, I have a rather large vocabulary. So
Mm-hmm.
I take all shows. We really don't have a limit on it. To me, for a comic to say they won't do a show because of profanity, they got to work on that vocabulary a little bit better. Because if you really think about it, you can use the same commentary and just take the cuss words out and replace them with a word that might be a little bit more facetious.
Mm-hmm.
So me, I take all shows. I love clean shows actually because it challenges you to not be saying motherfucker shit, goddamn asshole.
I guess
So
that was more
yeah,
like probably more of the question: is it harder to do shows
no,
like that? No.
no, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not for me. It's not.
Do you know is there any comics, not putting them on blast, but do comedians have problems with that? You think?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, a lot of because see, some comedians think that cussing is what make the joke,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't realize what makes up a joke is comprised with a lot of different elements. You know, your facial expressions, your movement, the way you presented it, how you said it, whether it was slow or fast. There's a lot of components of making a joke. So if you think that, some people think that it's all about cuss. Yeah, man, the motherfucker, and goddamn it, the motherfucker. And I don't knock a person to do that because that's their lane. That's what, and people do like that too. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but it's always good to be able to substitute those words for a different crowd of people because I don't want to be no old ass ladies in there about 70 years old and you talking about putting a dick on somebody or children, you know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
some of them may hear it, but a lot of them like, ooh, Lord, huh? But if you said, I'm trying to get some fellatio or a little condolingus, that's like, oh, okay. It said the same
Mm-hmm.
thing, but it's how you presented it.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, that's great.
And so that's always challenging to be able to do that.
Yeah. Like, what was like the most like, you know, how do you say like out in the like middle of nowhere where you got there and like whoa, like you looked at the town where it's like whoa, am I at the right place? Have you ever been on any of those like hole in the walls and those type places like out in the sticks?
Oh yeah. Shit, yeah. Yeah. Them be the best ones. Them the shows that grow you up.
Mm-hmm.
East Boga, Alabama. Shit, Dublin, Georgia. Shit. Ooh, yeah, a lot of Jackson, Tennessee. Those are the very nice cities. Paris, Tennessee, but they're small towns.
Yeah.
And when you get there, it's like you go back in time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
No.
it's nice, but it's different. But I love those towns. Those are the ones that actually you really, really do appreciate it.
Nice, nice, man. I love it, man. I love it. Maybe I'll try again. I know they have a school. What would you give? What would be some advice you give to people that want to start, doing the comedian, being a comedian?
Start being a comic.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I tell about you to charge a consultation for this, but just because of you, I'm gonna go ahead and feed this man. All right. First thing I would do, I would perform by myself and record myself.
Mm-hmm.
If you perform by yourself and record yourself, you go back and you watch it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like that shit, they don't either. It's simple. When you go back and watch it, if your ass in land, they're not either. When you get to a point where you start recording yourself, because that'll also help you correct your jokes too. So when you go back and you watch it, you like, oh shit, I should have turned to the left, turned to the right. Well, I should have booked my eyes. You can really self-correct. That's what I do. You can self-correct. So when you go back and you watch it, and then now when you entertained by it, you're like, okay, I'm happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably gonna come across that way on stage as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Start with yourself.
How do you manage when you're going with personal problems or personal stress? Or how do you deal to go in stage in front of people when you're going through something?
Oh,
how do you manage that?
That'd be the best time. That'd be the best time because you can actually, that can be part of your material. Now you may not talk about who is affecting personally, but you can talk about it because somebody probably going through that same thing in the crowd. And you present your feelings, it's gonna come out a lot more genuine too, because people can feel whether you feel them jokes or not too.
Heck yeah.
Have you ever thrown jokes out there about your life?
About my life, well, I'm kind of a personal person. Like if you know me, but like I don't run around here telling people, yeah, I'm married, this is my wife, and he maturing and shit. I don't do all that. If you know, but because people can use that against you.
Because mostly comedians, that's what they do, no? They use the personal life or their experience to talk about it and make fun of it, right?
Well, but that's why I call myself the comedic narrator. And being a narrator is like reading a book to people. And grown folks can get a book read to their ass. A lot of y'all got Kimber and shit. So it's like me, I'm a relay it in third person. So most people wouldn't know whether it was my situation or not. So I can relay it in third person and still make it just as entertaining. And then add a few things, add a little extra salt and lemon pepper in it too. But I never just say, yeah, man, this is what I'm going through. Nah, I wouldn't do that. And you may hear it. You just may not know who it is.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's next for Bennie Mac? Like, what's your next, career goal?
Next career goal is to capture the entire United States.
Nice.
Take over.
All 50 states, all in Hawaii, all in Alaska, the whole nine.
And how many states you say you've been through so far?
How many states? I might have been through maybe about 15 states so far.
Okay.
Have you been over here to Washington State?
You say what now?
Have you been over here in Washington State?
I haven't been to Washington State. I haven't been in the Northwest yet, but I'm looking forward to going. Looking forward.
Nice.
Cool. I already been looking into it. The R&B artist I was managing, I was setting you all back in 09, 10, somewhere around there. We had one of his songs spinning in Spokane, Washington.
Oh, nice.
So I have touched it, just not physically. So I'm familiar with it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, man, heck yeah. Well, make sure everybody go out there and check out, his show tomorrow. Go ahead and let everybody know exactly where you're gonna be at over the next little bit. We're about an hour in here. I don't want to keep you too long here, my guy.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna give you a couple dates. Then I gotta get on out of here. I gotta get my feet tightened up and shit. I'm a barber. I gotta treat my feet. But the next show is May the 11th. That's a Wednesday at the Start On. The doors open at 6:15. The show starts promptly at 7:30. Not 7:35, not 7:50, 7:30. And it's gonna be a great lineup on it. I got my man Nardo Blackman out of Jackson, Mississippi. Got my man T. Ray Sanders out of Atlanta, Georgia. I got Brian Thomas, he's from Birmingham. Coach Wesley, that's Eric Big E. Johnson, and some of the Cavs he's played. He's on the show. DJ Dame on the ones and twos, and young lady who do birthdays and shout outs for now is Drika the Eyelash Diva. And I'll be hosting. Comedic narrator, haircut, slanger, Bennie Mac. And the tickets are $20 if you go to starton.com. You get them from me, they're 25, but they're reserved floor seats. So you get the tickets from me, you send me a cash app, $ Bennie Mac 205, put your name in the subject line, and I have them for you at will call. You come to the door, just tell me your name, you're gonna look real important. So yeah. So that's what it is. Hopefully y'all can make it. And then go to my website, BennieMac205.com. And you can go and subscribe on my YouTube, my Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and I'll follow you back. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you can find most of that. BennieMac205.com.
All right.
Show them some love.
Yeah, do that.
Hey,
love and support.
You said what now?
I said love and support.
Okay, hey, do that. And you so I'm assuming you in Washington State.
I'm in Washington State right now, but just for a couple months. I'm actually from Cali.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm a Cali girl.
Central Coast, baby. Woo!
Yeah, I'm gonna be throwing some gang signs right here. You know, they're gonna block us.
Oh yeah,
That's what I said. I'm California.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's up, and I'm gonna make sure I follow both of you all on all social media. So
thank you.
Huh? Okay,
thank you.
All right, I got you. So shit, hey, I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate y'all having me. And until next time, I bring you the funny for a little money. And there's always something to laugh at, and look for the Recovering Whole comedy tour coming this fall.
All right, man. Have a good one, buddy.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Bye.
Bye.
That was a cool show.
That was cool. We still live, right?
Yeah, we're still live.
Okay, because I want to get some shout outs. I want to give a little bit shout outs because I've been seeing a lot of people waving to me, saying hi and everything. Yeah. So I want to say hi to everybody. Thank you for shouting out some love, and I couldn't, say hi, interrupt the conversation, but I'm seeing you guys. I'm seeing the comments.
Yeah, we got Jinx, Ready Reagan in the building, Miss BIRDGANG. We had a Further AM in here. And thank you guys so much for stopping by. Like I said, this is the real. Every Tuesday, we're going to come with a different spotlight. If you look at the entertainment channel, you see, sports spotlights. You see your author spotlights. We're a comedian. This is our first comedian spotlight. We're going to have all kinds of spotlights, entertainers and whatnot. And then, so we're going to try to do that every single Tuesday, try to bring you someone new, someone that you guys can learn something from, check out. And we're also going to have our normal show on, what we say, it was going to be on Monday. Our Monday show is going to be our show where we're not going to have nobody. We're just going to come up with, great new things to talk about. So make sure you guys are leaving that in the chat. Hit that like, leave what you want to hear us talk about. You know what I'm saying? Miss Mary Cruz, BG, we're here to just talk about life in general and have fun doing it. So any last words for you, Mary?
Nothing. Just follow us on our platforms. Follow me on my Facebook, Maricruz Ayala. My Facebook is Maricruz Ayala. My Instagram is Maricruz_Miss Maricruz. YouTube the same. Show some love, and we'll be seeing you soon. When new contact.
Good night.
Perfect.
Bye.